A very good morning, my dear students. Today, we are going to discuss chapter number 3, Business Environment, and its topic, Concept and Features of Business Environment. So, let's get started with the chapter. First, we'll discuss the concept of business environment. The term business environment means the sum total of all individuals, institutions, and other forces. Now here, the term forces means economic, social, political, and technological environment, and the institution means that is the suppliers of the organization, customers, competitors. So basically, business environment is what? It is the sum total of the individuals and the other forces that are outside the control of a business enterprise. That means the business enterprises do not have any control on these activities, but it may affect its performance. Now, all these constraints and forces that are external to business within which it operates, we have to have a control on these things. So therefore, the firm must be aware of these external forces and institutions, which means that they should be aware that what all are the changes that is happening in the external forces and the institutions. Then the firm must be nagged keeping in mind these forces and institutions so that the organizational objectives are achieved. Now here there is a very important term, that is environment scanning. Now what does this environment scanning means? It refers to complete awareness and understanding of business environment. With environment scanning, business enterprise can anticipate the effect of environment forces and factors on their enterprise. For example, before pandemic, if the organizations were not aware that what is going to happen, it was very much clear that there was some kind of, virus that is there in China, and there are chances that it may come in our country also. So at that time, if the business organizations, they did not pay attention that what is going to happen, it could have affected their business. So we have to have a, awareness that what is happening in our surrounding, what is happening in the external environment, what is happening in the internal environment, and now how it could impact the business. Now let's discuss that what are the changes in the business environment and its impact in business. Now the first change is, for example, increased competition in the market. Now if there is an increased competition in the market, then what are its impact? Its impact is there will be reduction in profit margin of business enterprise. Then if the government has increased the tax rate, then what will be its impact? Increased cost of production, so the things will become costly to purchase. If there is change in technology, then the existing products will become obsolete. For example, when there was a keypad phone, the moment the smartphone came, the keypad phone becomes obsolete. The moment laptops or computers came, the typewriters became obsolete. So if there will be change in technology, the existing product will become obsolete. Then if there will be change in fashion and taste of customers, so there will be definitely shift in demand from existing products to new ones. If there will be political uncertainty, then the confidence of the investors will be reduced to invest in long-term projects. Now let's discuss the features of business environment. Now the features, characteristics of business environment are, first is totality of external forces. Now as we have discussed it earlier also, that business environment is a sum total of all the factors external to the business. Then second is specific and general forces. Now there are specific and general forces. Now specific forces means that is the investors, customers, competitors and suppliers. That means those who have a direct impact on the business. So if there will be any change in the taste and preferences of the customers, competitors, suppliers, so it will have a direct impact on the business. General forces like economic, social, political, legal, and technological conditions, so this will have an indirect impact on the business. For example, change in technology. So it may have an impact on the business or it may not have an impact on the business. So these are the two terms, that is specific, which have a direct impact on the business, and general forces, which will have an indirect effect on the business organization. Then next is interrelatedness. Now all these business components of business environment are interrelated. For example, people can purchase better quality products and services which will improve their quality of life, that is social environment, because their incomes are rising, that is economic environment. So which means that if there will be change in one environment, it could be social, it could be economic, so it will have an impact on the other environment too. So different aspects of business are interrelated. For example, increased life expectancy of people and increased awareness for healthcare have increased demand for many health products and services. Next feature is dynamic nature. Now we all know that business environment is dynamic. That means it keeps on changing. For example, the technology used, consumers' taste and preferences, it keeps on changing. As I have just given you the example of phone or typewriters. So as the technology changes, we need to make changes in our organizations or in our companies too. Then uncertainty. Now it is very difficult to predict the environmental changes that will take place because future is uncertain. So especially when environment changes are taking place too frequently, as in the case of information technology or fashion industries, so it becomes very difficult to predict that what is going to happen in the future. Then complexity. Now business environment is a very complex phenomena as it consists of numerous components we have discussed, like economic, social, technological environments. So it becomes very difficult when we comprehend the exact effect that different components have on a particular factor. So environment is a complex phenomena that is relatively easier to understand in parts. If we want to understand that what is the impact of technological environment, what is the impact of social environment, so we will be able to, understand it very clearly. But if we want to grasp it in totality, that which aspect has more impact on a particular situation, so it will become very difficult. So we can say that we can, understand these concepts, individuality, but when we want to discuss it, when we want to understand in totality, so it will become very complex. Then relativity. So some conditions has different impact on different business. So that is, it differs from country to country and region to region. So all these environments are present everywhere, like political, social, maybe USA, China, India. So all these conditions, all these components are there, but their impact may differ. For example, political condition in USA, for instance, differ from those in China or Pakistan. So similarly, demand for saris may be fairly high in India, whereas it may be almost non-existent in France. So these are few questions which will help you in making your concept more clear.